was raised Southern Baptist. I turned away from the church early on. My mother was religious. My stepfather was atheist. And I went from foster home to group home because of child abuse. I heard the same message over and over again. God hates you. You're going to hell. Because I was lesbian. And I didn't understand. Because I was raised to believe that God is love. Why would God make someone he despised? If God is love, why was I unloved by God? Why was I going to hell? It didn't make any sense to me. I was so confused and desperate for help, for answers. Finally, at the age of 24, I went to a preacher because I figured if he's the appointed voice of God, if he's the leader, maybe he could tell me what to do. I had to figure this out. So I finally made up my mind to go. And the whole time the preacher was in session, I had suicidal thoughts racing through my head, and I was going over the conversation I would have with him, and I could not see how it could possibly turn out well, but I still had hope. And finally, when the last person left, I went up to him and I told him, I desperately want to die. And he looked at me and he wanted to know why. Why would someone so young want to die? And so he took me in and sat me down and he told me, my child, what could it possibly be? Why would you want to end your life? And I told him, because God will never forgive me. I'm going to hell. And the preacher said, God forgives everything. And so then, with the hope blossoming inside me, I told him, well, I'm lesbian. And suddenly his whole expression changed. He went from genuinely concerned to disgusted. And he shook his head and said he didn't have time for this. He got up, opened the door, and motioned me out. I was mortified. I was embarrassed. I was terrified. This was my last chance. This just confirmed that there was no hope for me. Why was I even here? If God was condemning me to hell, why bother living? And I turned away from the church once more, and I cried for months. And finally, one day, I couldn't take it anymore. I took a bottle of pills and I attempted suicide.